Hey everybody, Dave Duford here at Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents to sell things like final expense, and in this case, Medicare nationally, both face-to-face and over the phone. And I've got my longtime friend in the business, Mr. Matt Munguia. Say hello, Matt.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me on, Dave.
Yeah, so we're doing a short little segment here today to talk about more about our very good, very effective, and highly lucrative Medicare sales and marketing system. And today we're going to have an extended conversation about how our lead program works. And what I kind of want to focus on today specifically, Matt, is talking about the type of leads that we offer in our Medicare sales and marketing program, and then talk about what kind of leads a new agent that is going to sell Medicare with our system would prefer and why. So why don't you kind of jump in and explain how that goes?
We have a few different types of leads. I will say that our normal focus is our Facebook leads and our direct mail leads. We do have options for tele leads as well now, but I'd like to focus on our Facebook leads and our direct mail leads. So one of the questions you had was, what should an agent focus on? Which one of our leads? It's really dependent on a few things. Direct mail leads, as you know, David, they take a while for them to come in. It could take 4 to 5 weeks before sometimes those direct mail leads start coming in. So what do you do in the meantime if you want to get going right away? Well, luckily we have those Facebook leads. They're less expensive, and they can get the practice that they need on those less expensive leads while they're waiting for their direct mail leads to come in. But the king of leads is our direct mail leads. Those are the leads that our top producers, year in, year out, that's what they're working. That's what they're playing with. You know, it's like if you're in a professional baseball and you see all the guys that are hitting the home runs are using a 40-inch bat, you know, let's use the 40-inch bat too, right? I mean, that's the best chance of hitting a home run. So it's kind of the same thing there. We like our direct mail leads. They think we think those are the best, and the data proves it. So our direct mail leads, they can order in a specific area, county, several counties. Some people live in big metro areas like Houston, for example. They can pick one county. Sometimes in Houston, for example, they can pick zip codes and hone in on certain zip codes only because that area is so big. In other areas, we might need more data, but our direct mail lead program is on point.
Yeah, and I guess building on that, and it's crazy because we're filming this in 2021, you know, right? I mean, tech, everything, and advanced technology, and here we are using boring old direct mail leads. But I would ask you flat out, I mean, what are all your top producers doing? I mean, it's direct mail, isn't it?
It's direct mail, hands down. You know, the data is there to prove what we're saying. And look, it's the lead you want to be on. The other leads are filler. They could be fillers, or they can be, you know, to fill in the gaps or fill in the time. But eventually, you want to be on constant orders of. You know, if I had things my way, everybody would be only on direct mail because we know what the numbers produce from the direct mail leads.
Yeah. So give me an example of an agent that's on a direct mail program, as far as, say, maybe somebody who's newer, like in the last year or so. What kind of production have they been doing with just using a direct mail system like what we recommend to agents?
That's a good question. I mean, we have a whole spectrum, right? So we have the brand new agent that's, you know, maybe working part-time. And so they're ordering the minimum of 10 per week right now as they get their footing. And then you have on the opposite end of the spectrum, probably our rookie of the year on the Medicare side, who, you know, he did both final expense and Medicare, and he wrote $300,000 in final expense plus $300,000 in Medicare. So wow. I mean, that's crazy to think about that. So as you know, it's hard enough to do 300 in Medicare, or it's hard enough to do 300 in final expense, but to do both in his first full year. So when somebody says, well, what's somebody capable of in a year that's brand new, right? Well, that's up there. Now, if somebody concentrated 100% on final expense, what could they do in 1 year? I mean, you know, we gave examples on the last video, which was, I mean, Ethan did 600 in 9 months. Adam
did 600 Medicare plans in 9 months, right?
Yep. Yep. And Adam, as you know, did 800 in 10 months. So when somebody asks me, well, what's possible? What's possible out there? Well, we have two of the highest producing, probably the highest producing maybe in the entire country. That's what's possible. I mean, that's the limit from what I've seen. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to see, but for sure, direct mail is the king of leads. The others are going to be fillers.
And this is the thing, guys, if you're watching this video, you're probably, and some of you are going to be brand new to insurance and you're thinking about Medicare. I'm specifically at this moment talking to you guys who are selling final expense. This is one of the markets that we focus on, I guess, from a recruiting standpoint, is the final expense agent. And the beautiful thing is if you can grind out a living and be successful selling final expense, and Matt, we see this time and again, when we transition them over to Medicare, they bring the same work ethic, the same salesmanship skills, they thrive. And the beautiful thing is now, Matt, they're not just making sales, and they're still making final expense sales exactly like you described, but they're developing that passive flow of income that they will continue to make even if they decide not to work a day, a week, or a month. And that's something you're never going to get selling final expense. And I think it's so critical out there. If you're watching this and you're experienced in some kind of life product and you've been doing this for years, you know exactly what I mean. You need to think about seriously diversifying your income and getting into Medicare, because it is going to unlock the code to a level of lifestyle that this business truly provides. Wouldn't you agree, Matt?
You know, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, and here's the thing, you know, as you know, our platform very well, David, we're going to teach them how, if they come to us with a book of final expense business, that's the first thing we're going to work. You might not need to get on our Facebook leads because you might have 500, 700, 1,000 clients in your final expense book. And we're going to show you how to take that book and help those people with Medicare. Those are your leads. They're your clients. They've already bought from you. They know you. They trust you. And we're going to help you in mining that book of business. Also, here's the other thing, David, that we always hear when agents are coming from final expense and then start adding Medicare. Number one, wow, how easy was this? Why didn't I start this earlier? Is probably the number one thing we hear. And then number two, what I always say is, listen, 95% of these plans are, we're not supposed to say free in the Medicare world. They're at no cost. Yeah. So what I always like to say is, if you can't sell free, you can't sell. And most of our final expense agents, well, guess what? They're used to asking for money. Miss Jones is going to be $60. Miss Jones is going to be $100. Miss Jones, $120. With Medicare, it's Miss Jones, this is of no cost. And I'm going to get you a free gym membership. I'm going to get you $2,500 in dental. I'm going to get you this. I'm going to get you this. And it's of no cost. Well, that doesn't even make sense. So, and in a lot of cases, a good agent then saves the client money. Maybe they didn't know they qualified for LIS. Well, we're going to show you agents how to qualify for a client, make sure that they're going to get, they can get Medicaid help and things like that, and maybe not have to pay but $1 or $2 for medications, and maybe they're way overpaying for medication. So not only do you save them money, but it frees money up. And maybe you use that savings. Maybe they want a final expense plan, a cancer plan, a dental plan, or this or that. So it just, I could keep going. David, you got to shut me up sometime.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we're making these little shorts now, right? And there's so much to say about this business that is so incredible that you guys probably just have no clue about. Like, for example, and we're not going to go into detail, but I'll discuss it a little bit, and you're welcome to click the links above and below to reach out to me. Be happy to talk to you more about it. But like, for example, we've got the ability to get you free leads in our program for our co-op program, so that you can get your leads offset as long as you hit a certain production number. And if you fall short of that, there's ways to still heavily discount your leads. You don't have to do all of your final expense business to get on the Medicare side. This is strictly Medicare that we're talking about. So if you're worried, well, what if I've got to move agencies? And you like your final expense side? Look, we'll help you grow into that next stage. You don't need to do final expense. Do your Medicare with us so that we can take you to the next level. You guys got to learn more about this, because look, Matt and I, we've been in the business a long time. We've been on the final expense side. We know this very well. And when we created our agency, we created a semi-passive source of income. But a lot of you guys out there don't want to get into the adult babysitting business, right? It's not for everybody. In the way that you get passive income, if you like producing, you like selling, is to get into Medicare. and you are missing the boat. If you are an experienced final expense agent, or you've just started, you're getting consistent, and you see the opportunity with most of your clients being on Medicare, to help them with that too. And we will show you exactly what you need to do. So if this is something you're interested in, here's how to learn more. Like I said, just click the links above and below. It's going to take you to my website. You'll get a more detailed analysis of how our Medicare sales and marketing system works, where you can learn if it's right for you and then what steps to take next. So check that out. Matt, thank you again for being with me.
David,
and
let me cut you off real quick, real rudely. Sorry. I want to add one more thing because you brought up a really good point. Yes, if they want to join our program and they like where they're at on final expense, fine. Keep doing final expense. We're exactly where you're at. Let us help you with the Medicare side if your organization doesn't do it or it's not up to par. And then, you know, the other thing about final expense agents is, hey, how am I going to get to the next level? How am I going, you know, in final expense, you pretty much have to build a team. There's only so much you can do on your own pen, right? So how do I get to the next level? And how do I make more money? Well, I got to start building a team. You don't have to do that in Medicare. You can make way more, and not like what David said, not have the headaches of adult babysitting, not have these massive roll-up debts from all it takes is one bad agent. And people don't understand that side of the business until they get hit with those chargebacks that me and David have experienced in our careers, right? So you don't have to do that. You go and write your own 1,000 clients on the Medicare side. Guess what that is? That's $270,000 nationwide. In some states like California and New Jersey, you're looking at $300,000 a year in lifetime renewals that you're going to wake up to the next year.
That's every year for the rest of your life, as long as those clients stay in the books. But we know some are going to die, some will flip, but you're still going to go out there and sell. You're going to get referrals. Referrals are way easier to get in Medicare as well. So it's something that's not that difficult to get to over a number of years.
Yep. No, so perfect. I just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, it's the perfect way, and it's the perfect remedy for people that want to get to that next level, but not want to build a team. Or guess what? You know what? There is a way to get to the next level of wealth without having to worry about chargebacks and roll-up debt and phone calls at 12 in the morning and this and that and the other that we know all too well about.
Right. Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up. And that's a good point to recall, because passive income is always worth the effort, I think, long-term as you advance in your career. And the nice thing is there's a way to do it without the headaches that do sometimes come with agency building. So like I said, just check the links above and below. Matt, thanks again for being here and taking us along the way of describing all about how great this business is.
Yep.